my friends, episode number 5 of Berserk of Gluttony. And in all honesty, my friends, I'm going to keep this pretty light because episode number 5 was a really, really good transitional episode. So we know that next episode, it's about to go down. Like, next episode, we're going to get a gargoyle fight. And then at the end of the episode, the end of the episode alluded to the next episode being called The Girl of Wrath. What that specifically means, I'm not 100% sure, but what we know is right now, Fate is in his original village where he grew up at, where the village are the ones that kind of threw him out because his dad died, and because his dad was a good spearman, that's the only reason that they kept him around in the village. But as soon as his dad died, they turned on Fate being an extra mouth to feed because they're big old POSs, and the village is ran by an asshole, basically. He has now accepted kind of like a quest, you know, to be paid to go and fight monsters in this village because he found one of the kids that he knew when he was younger in this village. And this dude has kind of set his path on straight. He lost his wife. He has a daughter. And, you know, he went to go seek out, you know, somebody to help. And he ran into Fate, who Fate showed off a little bit in the tavern, kind of like saving this dude. So big setup here for what's to come with gargoyles and all this other stuff. And then at the end of the episode, on top of everything else, the girl, for some reason, the little girl had a candy that was a drug candy that ended up drugging Fate out. Apparently that was like orchestrated by the village chief somehow. Not really sure the nuance on how that really came to be. It's like, why would you hand a kid a drug candy? You know kids like to eat candy. What if your little girl ate that candy? I guess you would just knock the fuck out. But like, I don't really know what the nuance is there. But regardless, they got to him and they knocked him out. Now, I don't know if his hunger, his satiated hunger, will wake him up and he'll be able to go and do something about these gargoyles. Or if, you know, hellfire is about to rain down, he's just gonna be sleeping. Like, I'm not really sure, but this set guy seems to know what transpired here with that candy and stuff too, and he's not a fan of his dad and the way he runs things. So again, all this orchestration going on here, making for episode 5 to be a really good transitional episode as Fate makes his way to Gallia to go and save Roxy. Now, what was not transitional was what happened at the end of episode 4 into episode 5, where he killed one of the Holy Knights, and that was some sweet, sweet revenge. Now, I'm not a person who, you know, is big and keen on revenge because typically, you know, once you satisfy said revenge, the chase was sweeter than the goal. You know what I mean? Like, obtaining revenge and your way to revenge, like that, like your journey is sweeter than the actual revenge itself. Typically, the revenge doesn't satiate the hole that whatever caused you to want to get revenge kind of left. But I will say, in watching him destroy this dude, and he pulled off that big ass Kamehameha bow move for no reason, because he could have just like, you know, choked this dude out with like one hand essentially, but he decided to like rip him to shreds for just because he could. You know, all of that was very satisfying to watch, and him taking off his mask and be like, "It is I, Dio." Like, that was a great moment, and I'm sure that had to feel good. The good thing for Fate is there's a lot of people that he can aim his revenge to, and this was just one of those people. So that revenge book stays open, but this one must have tasted pretty sweet, and it was awesome to watch as well too. So anyways, putting it in a bucket, episode 5 was really good, but looking at it through a critical eye, it was just a mostly, outside of like, you know, a few scenes, it was mostly a transitional episode. But I would still give this episode like an 8 because I think that beginning was badass, and I think that this setup is really good for what's to come next. So I would give it an easy 8 out of 10 this episode. So let me know what you guys thought about Berserk of Gluttony episode number 5 in the comments below. It's about to go down. Let me know what you guys think about everything that you've seen so far, including episode 5 and episode 5. And I'm going to see you guys next week for episode 6. When we hit the shelves and actually like Ish is about to go down. So I'll see you guys next week for the gargoyle attack. Peace out, my friends.